Alec, welcome back we're getting to the end here of the E3 2021 extravaganza.
All right, Zach. Here we go. We got Bandai Namco. What do they get to show? They got Tales of Arise coming. They've got Scarlet Nexus. What is it? More Tekken news?
Yeah, well,
What do they
I'm
got?
going to go over the list of what we have and you see what you want to talk about, okay?
Ni no Kuni 3?
Well, all right, so here's the list. I'll just list everything, rapid fire, throw it all out there, and you let me know.
Okay, Tales of Arise, I'm sure. Right?
The Dark Pictures anthology, Houses of Ashes.
Okay, yeah, that's a title that they're making. Yeah, I've Dark Pictures. I'm not really interested in those games, but yeah. Okay, what else?
Yep, that's it.
What a show! What a brilliant show! Excellent job.
Good interview. Did a good interview.
It was just an interview too, right?
It was an interview. Yeah,
I didn't watch this one. I didn't
so
care.
Weird.
When they said, so Bandai Namco, it was a long time ago, they had announced that they were having they were having a press conference. It's like, oh, great. Like I just said, like I was just saying in my fake enthusiasm, they should have, they've had a bunch of games that are coming out this year. And yet they focus on, from what I understand, the Dark Pictures anthology has been like a wet fart. Basically.
What do you mean, wet fart?
Man of Medan was not received particularly well.
I want to play that game. Thank you very much. I think it looks interesting.
It looks interesting, yes, but I've heard that game has not been received very well.
Conceptually, I like the idea of the Dark Pictures anthology a lot. It's like a horror anthology series, interactive. You know, you can impact the story. I always love that stuff.
I like the idea of it, but the fact that people who loved their first game, which was Until Dawn, very well received. These haven't been great. I think
I haven't played it.
Isn't there a second one? I watched part of the first one. I didn't like what I saw.
There's a second one. They're always improving. This guy talked to you. He was very passionate in the interview about how we're working on stuff. In the second game, we had a more 360 camera action going on, so we could really incorporate more scares, and it was really cool.
Wow. I'm so impressed.
But he seemed into it. They seem like they care about what they're doing. But the fact of the matter is, for me, I think these games, it's like the weirdest game to present in this format, to like interview style and like show more. It's like it's a story. You don't need to see it. You know what it is. It's an experience, so you kind of want to go in as blind as possible. You know. So it's the weirdest choice of a game to just highlight by itself.
Yeah, like I said, they're a big publisher. They've got a lot of stuff that they could show off, but
I think the mystery of it is the biggest thing. It's like, ooh, what's going to happen in this story? And it's not like I really retained much of the information from what I saw, but
because you're kind of trying to skim over if you're interested in the game, right? Because you don't want to know everything that the game has to show.
There wasn't anything particularly remarkable that I found from it, but it's honestly like it wasn't the kind of game that I need to be sold on, because I'm just a sucker for these kinds of games. Until Dawn, you know. But I have Man of Medan, however it's pronounced.
Man of Medan.
Medan. I have that one.
Isn't there a second one too already?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
There's a second one too.
See, I didn't even. Here's the thing. I heard literally no one talk about that game. Not really a good sign. I heard a lot of people talk about Man of Medan.
That's why they had this conference then, I guess.
Yeah, because they really got to pump up the word. Yeah. Boy, yeah, everyone's going to be talking about it.
I'm interested. I really want to play it. But it's like, obviously, I don't really have much interest in this new one because I still have two others.
Yeah.
But, yeah, weird. Weird choice. So what was your favorite game of the show?
I don't have one because I didn't watch it. I didn't care to watch it. It's got to
be the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes.
I guess it was, yeah. I guess in that case,
pretty good.
What you said it was. I mean, I'm going to say Tales of Arise, but...
You know. No, you're wrong. You're incorrect.
Yeah, because it wasn't there. But...
What would you grade this?
F.
Well, it was pretty stellar, actually. It was... For what it did, in talking about the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes, that game, pretty good. I'd give it like a D for that.
The fact that they had the gall to... But...
Overall, I give it an F.
Yeah. This is... What a waste of 10 minutes of everyone's time. It was only 10 minutes long, or 15 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. But I was into it. Like the interviewer seemed like she cared. I don't know,
They
more
could
than
have
the
even
other
shown
chick.
more. They even could have shown some Elden Ring too, but no.
Oh yeah, she could have done a lot. They could have done a lot. Bandai Namco.
Mm.
But that's it. All right. Overall, what are your feelings on E3 2021?
Chaos, and I mean that both as the joke and legitimately was chaotic.
And
There were
not in like a fun chaos.
no,
Chaos.
no. It was just like it was a nightmare. Every website had different schedules.
Yeah, it
They
was
all
such a
had
pain.
they had different times and different schedules.
I'm like, what should I be watching? What should I not be watching? Like, are these full conferences? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's like, and it was hard to say because it was like some of them were like 50. Like this one was like barely anything, so it's hard to tell. It was like, okay, well this one's like a half hour, and then it was still didn't show much, like gearboxes, and that were like or less would have been better if they just didn't show anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then the your long traditional ones, your Microsoft and your Nintendos, which were both great. So it was very, very just so inconsistent, and it was. I missed the periods of time when it was just like it was a structured format. You knew what to expect from each sort of thing.
I feel like we've lost the spark. We've
Yeah.
lost the spark. Just take me back to E3, the big three: Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. Just bring me back.
Well, the spark to me was part of Summer Game Fest. There was a spark there. There was an energy there. There was. I don't think it was as good as either Microsoft or Nintendo, but there was a definite like a good amount of games there. There was like it was good. Jeff Keighley is just being Jeff Keighley. He's showing games off, having interviews with Hideo Kojima, obviously. Yeah, it was a solid presentation. They had a lot of different ways of showing new games off, interviews with people, so on and so forth. It was good. It was enjoyable. But man, I watched like probably 5 other things this year, maybe even 6 that we didn't talk about. So I watched like the PC Gamer show. I watched Games Radar's show. I watched the Limited Run and the Devolver Digital shows. There was some other one that I watched part of on Pete's stream, and we were like falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally just interviewing indie developers and just interviewing indie developers. Didn't show any gameplay of the games they were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was terrible. It was like you couldn't interlace this with any gameplay of what they're talking about, so we can get a sense of what they. No, nothing.
I just miss the heyday of like in the early gaming community days when the E3 was like so huge, and it's like they all had stage presences, and it's like they were really like who's gonna bring their A game. It was real like who's gonna win this thing out of the big three. Now it's like we got 12 things going on. It's like who cares who won? It's like some were pretty good, and then just a ton of them were like they didn't even need to be there. It's just almost like they felt an obligation to be there, you know.
Yeah, see, like what E3 used to be is all of the information that those smaller panels did would have just been like part of the daily news cycle. Like, oh, we got some news from Gearbox about the Borderlands movie. Take it away. From like IGN's coverage of E3 Live or whatever, or here's G4's exclusive interview with Hideo Kojima, stuff like that.
With the completionist.
With Gerard, yeah, he's gonna be on there now. I saw that. That's cool. Congratulations, Gerard. You're not gonna be watching this, but
let's kick it over to Code Miko.
Just kick it over. Let's kick it over to. I'm just thinking
Kasim
like
G.
Because.
Host of the California On series.
Wow. Let's kick it on over to Smosh Gaming for some hot takes. Why do they still exist, by the way?
Smosh Gaming?
Yeah. Or just Smosh in general. They should just go away.
Wow. Okay.
I hate their faces.
So
anyway, that's starting some YouTube beef. Here we go. No, but anyway, that doesn't matter.
None of it matters. That's the problem with E3 these days.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I said, like a lot of those, their own little separate conferences is just like, there's no organization to any of it. Trying to keep track of where everything is being shown. It's terrible.
And it's like, I just miss the old stage days where it's like, Now Nintendo are like, nah, forget the stage. We're just gonna do our Nintendo Directs, and Sony's like, forget it all. We don't even need that. Too much
Yeah, we're
work.
not even going to show. See, here's the thing: Nintendo does their Nintendo Directs, but they still show up at E3. They still have a
They
booth,
still
and
show up.
they still go all out. Obviously, this year still no in person events, so nothing to really go all out about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you don't have like the Konami cringe
I
compilation
love the
moments.
cringe. I miss the quirky like.
Yeah.
I like the Skyward Sword cringe like.
Yeah, the Skyward Sword cringe, that was terrible. It was great.
But the awkward interactions are awesome.
Yeah, you can't, because you can't stage the live interactions, you know.
And then I even when it was like the obnoxious celebrity stuff that we all make.
Yeah,
fun
Aisha
of.
Tyler.
I'm down with that too.
Ugh. Aisha Tyler, the hosting Ubisoft. That was like,
yeah.
Stop talking,
So
please.
I just think peak E3 was like 2010. Especially when I think of like Nintendo E3 2010, there's like so many killer announcements. And
wasn't
just,
Mr. Caffeine? Was Mr. Caffeine 20? No, Mr. Caffeine was 2011, I think.
But there's just so much energy you can feel that you don't get when you just have a direct where it's like, now splashing onto our screens, the next hit from Super Mario.
Bam, but the thing is, I remember the first year they did a direct, and because I was like really skeptical of it, and they like freaking knocked it out of the park that year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like one of the best Nintendo presentations they'd ever done. And it was like, oh, okay, I can understand why they're doing this now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that you do lose a little something, but I mean, Nintendo to me is still the master of it. I think they still have the best version. Microsoft, if they wanted to do a digital only event and just do what they did this time, I'd do that. Just do that every year. Like, but to me, Microsoft really. To me, they really get the stage presence that, like, they own that. Phil Spencer walking around talking about how many games they have, and really, really loving the whole audience.
But it's like we don't have any audience this year. But it was like when we do, it's even funny when they try to like appeal to the audience and they get like nothing out of it. Sometimes,
well, that's what Jeff Keighley did. Jeff Keighley was almost crying when he was talking about Elden Ring.
Okay.
And because it was like talking to it, and yeah, like they did the same thing at the Microsoft one. The PC Gamer one had Mika Burton as well as Day 9. Those are the two hosts, and they were actually great. I didn't really like the show overall, but it was okay. Mika Burton's great. I love her. She's just so charming and fun and wonderful. But it was just an okay show. It was like it was weird that I know everyone was like, oh, cringe, but it was like there wasn't really that. Nothing was really that bad during that, and people were doing the same thing during the Games Radar one, which I don't remember what it was called. I think it was Future Games presentation is what they called it, and that was Troy Baker and Laura Bailey, and it was wonderful because they were just reading scripts kind of a little bit, but they are friends in real life. Like, they're both professional acquaintances and they do stuff professionally together, but they're also actually friends in real life. So outside of work. So you got a real chemistry between them, which was fun and endearing. So yeah, it was cool. Good stuff.
But I just miss the crowd interaction in general. The energy.
Well,
even when people were like,
you say that, and yet the last one had some of like the worst fan interaction I can ever remember.
What do you mean? Which one?
Well, while it did give us Happy Keanu, which is wonderful, which had him as Johnny Silverhand, which, oh boy, I guess is that really something to remember now that Cyberpunk was a big dud? But yeah, you're beautiful. You're all beautiful. That moment.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, except then during Bethesda's, there was one guy that would not shut up, and it ruined the entire conference. It legitimately like put me off. That kind of crap. I if they just do this digital only format, I'm not gonna miss it.
No,
that stuff was.
Bring me back to the heyday. Terrible. Bring me back to when though you could have like Nintendo's like when Donkey Kong Country Returns came out, and you just seeing the intro, and then you start seeing side scrolling, people flipping out. Pretty much any Zelda announcement, people are flipping out. But then even the stupid stuff where it's like Xbox.
I mean, E3 2004 will never be topped.
Yeah.
That will never be topped. That was like people were like men cried that day, like wept tears openly. Like it was just
even stupid stuff where it's like they'll like leave pauses for audience reaction, and it'll be like lame games. So it'll be like, and who could forget Madden,
like,
and then it'll be like.
You mean like 99 Nights 3 or whatever the hell it was at Konami and yeah, exactly, at Konami, and 1 million troops. And no one applauded. So he says it again, and he's like,
I love that stuff.
And he's, love you guys. Like when they clapped.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I mean, Konami's never gonna have a presence ever again because they care about is pachinko. So,
yeah.
But
Capcom, Capcom maybe never again as well.
Man, can you imagine if Capcom actually did that live? Can you imagine?
That's what I want to see. Like, people aren't going to show up to the stage with that kind of crap.
Be throwing like popcorn buckets up on stage.
That's the thing. They didn't care because they could just throw an online thing together. So they just put these games that are already known. But if they were like, "Oh, we got a big E3 stage, we got to come to play ball. We got to come to show some good stuff."
That's my again.
Even at the worst,
the smaller companies. All of that stuff would just be in a PR statement, and we get that through like IGN's reporting on we're having just talk to this person from Capcom about some upcoming DLC for Resident Evil 8 or whatever.
That's fine.
Like that's here's the thing. E3 was a lot of what we saw, but what we got from it was more of the press's reaction, the press talking about it, these behind closed doors sort of presentations and things. And then press releases came out, and then we got news about it. And then they talked about what they saw. Actually seeing all of the crap that they had this year, it's like I'm with you in that. I wish it was back to that way that it was, because we wouldn't have to see these rinky-dink companies showing us nothing. You
want to step up with the big boys. Yeah. People they've lost. They don't know their place anymore. It's like you have the big three, but now it's like, everybody's invited. Look at 20, big 20 there.
The big 20, but they were all there, and that's what I mean. They were all there anyways. They didn't have their own like little voice.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
and they don't need it.
It's like you guys, you can bow down.
Cacophony.
Bow down. Here comes the big boys. They're gonna come on stage now.
It was all cacophony. It was just a nightmare. It was chaos, like I said.
But the little companies, they'll contribute their games for the big three. That's what you're supposed to do.
But that's what I mean. And the indies were way more interesting than almost everything else this year. We didn't talk about hardly any of it, but they were way more interesting. There was like a lot of really good stuff shown. And you go through like E3 recap. I recommend it. It's a place that Pete uses to kind of go through things. Has all the trailers, all the information, all the game stuff that were shown in each thing. They categorize it with each sort of showcase. Go check out some of the indie stuff. There's some really great stuff that they showed off.
We didn't talk about the Xbox fridge.
The Xbox fridge. That's right. I want one. They're embracing the meme.
How much is that going to cost though?
I don't know. $200 maybe.
It's like. It's really interesting.
How much are mini fridges?
I missed it in the initial watch through because I just like turned it off at that point.
How much are mini fridges? I don't even know.
I don't know.
How much is a mini fridge?
I don't know. I've never bought one. I got one as a gift, but I've never bought one.
Yeah, me neither.
But I'm saying like they're not. It's not just like a regular retailer, so it's like they're gonna up the price even more. Special Xbox mini fridge. You can just go to a Walmart and just like
maybe
same place you get a regular mini fridge. You just go get your Xbox One instead.
Maybe where's the KFC console?
All right, that's it. E3. What would you grade E3? It's a C minus.
It's like a C minus. Yeah, it was not a good year. It was not a good year overall. Oh,
Hate
the
to
problem.
see that.
I mean, to me, it's like there's still like a weird lack of direction about like where are the new consoles going.
Yeah, and well, for me, it's just I don't care about the new consoles. You know, I have no reason to care.
But but that's what I mean. This should be getting you to care about them.
Yeah.
That is the whole point of E3. There was almost nothing here to make me be like,
no, there's nothing
wow.
for new consoles. It's like, oh, well, I'll get that on the PS4. Yeah.
Yeah, like some of the biggest crap they showed was like Godfall coming to PS4. It's like, go screw, screw off. You're just telling us to go buy the.
So wait, is Forza Horizon 5, is that coming to Series X?
I don't know. It's coming to Series X, yeah.
Like exclusively though.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be other console as well.
Because
some stuff they showed and some stuff they teased are console exclusives during Microsoft. They are Series X exclusives.
That's the one. That's the one that's gonna get me to buy the Series X just for Forza Horizon 5. I can't believe it.
GameIndustry.biz, Forza Horizon 5 voted most anticipated game in official E3 2021 awards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We both said we lauded how good that game looks.
And any other year, I'm like, oh, Forza, skip this.
Yeah.
Who cares? But I wonder what the general reception is, Like the general gaming community, they're like, oh, Forza. Whenever.
I mean, to me, that everyone in, I don't consider the Otaku Brothers, people in there are not typically racing game fans, not for the most part. Everyone seemed pretty interested there. Pete was interested in it. Pete likes. He's not really a big Forza guy because he likes his arcade racers, but Pete was looking at him because the Horizon is very, is very like a little bit more arcadey than the motorsport games, which are very like simulation.
Oh yeah, what would be your game of the whole show?
Game of the whole show.
Return. Is that what the name of that game is? Return.
Replaced.
The
game of the whole show. I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to give it to Stranger of Paradise because I think it encapsulates the problem everyone has with the show this year, despite the fact that I think a lot of it is misplaced with that game. It should have been Babylon's Fall getting all that hate, honestly. But
my game of the show is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, releasing on Switch.
Oh, get out of here. Bump off.
Fuff off. Forza Horizon 5 is my game of the show.
Easy. I mean, that's like okay. If I'm not picking memes or thematic reasons, it's Metroid Dread. Second place would be Forza Horizon 5, and legitimately, Game 3 is Stranger Paradise. Because I am very interested in that game.
You already forgot about reduce, reuse, and recycle that game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Returnal. Yeah,
that
game already came out.
Renewed.
Yeah,
it's called the Cyberpunk game.
You were actually we're using so many games. I actually don't even remember what it was called anymore. Okay,
right.
Thank you. Yeah,
really good name. That's all I know. Very memorable name.
Yeah, it's Xbox One, Series X, and Windows 10. Forza Horizon 5. But it's not going to look that good on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Or my TV. I need to get a better TV just to appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Need to buy a new TV, a new console just for Forza Horizon 5. This is how far we've fallen.
Yeah.
E3, what have you done to me?
Well, I have a 1X that I need replaced that GameStop still hasn't gotten back to me about replacing. My 1-year warranty is running kind of low.
I'm excited for that game.
The Xbox One?
Replaced,
yeah.
Why is it called replaced? I don't even know.
Because it's probably like talking about probably like androids or cyborgs.
Why does
it
matter that you're replacing it that much? You don't need to name it that. Just something cool. Be like probably the name of whatever town in there is probably cooler than that.
Let's stop talking about this. I'm starting to get annoyed.
Like probably like Chinchan,
Chinchan?
like
Crayon Shin-chan?
some cool name of the cyberpunk city they're in. It's like probably just take that name and it'll be better. Cyber,
Punk.
cyber, comma, punk.
Cyber, comma, punk. Cyberpunk.
It'll be
If you
pretty
like performance art, go watch the Devolver Digital's always a wild ride.
good. Yeah, it's pretty wild skit.
It was weird again this year. And games they showed were pretty good. Go check out Limited Run if you like Limited Run stuff like I do. So.
All right, what video would you recommend our viewers watch?
Go check out a review of Sonic and the Secret Rings.
It's a real oldie. We need to get some good Sonic in here soon. We've got to review like Sonic Colors.
Sonic Colors showed up at the at some
Sonic
showcase of
conference.
some sort. The Sonic conference. There's a concert coming up. There's a Sonic conference coming up that you
Sonic
should go check out.
Concert coming up.
They're streaming it on YouTube.
Oh, we can't go see it.
No,
That would be pretty hype.
that would be
Sonic
hype.
Symphony.
I'd be down. I'd be down to go to a Sonic concert. I'd be like to sing along.
Crush
to
40.
Sing along to Crush 40. Well, Crush 40 actually does performances and stuff.
Yeah, they do
I've
the
seen
Sonic stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
They even perform stuff that I don't think they even composed. They could perform some of the songs from like the games they didn't even
Dude,
do
they're
soundtracks
just a big
for.
Sonic cover band now.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They are a
Danger is lurking around every turn.
It's their Sonic cover band. They are Sonic's music. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Sonic and the Secret Rings. Yeah. Well, there wasn't any Sonic in the E3 stuff that I watched, at least. So
There was some they showed off at, I don't remember what anymore. It could have been Summer Game Fest. It could have been something else. I don't remember.
what a mess.
It was a
What
mess.
a mess. Before you could just be like, oh, what system's it on? Okay. So it was in Sony's then.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, which conference was this on? When is that?
Which trailer? Yeah. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Like the video. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Tarqaron TWO.
I want next year to be better.
Do better. I think we should all
Do better.
do better next year
Yeah, definitely.
as people.